it looks like Ohio State can't lose. But they go to Champaign this week, and this is a talented Illinois team that had one extremely bad game. The question is, what do they look like when the final boss level version of Indiana shows up? Because that's what Ohio State is. It's Indiana on steroids. Not accusing anyone of taking steroids. It's just a figure of speech.
Ohio State gave up 66 yards to Minnesota on the first drive of the game, and Minnesota finished with 162 yards for the the whole game. Ohio State has allowed. Do you know how many points Ohio State's defense has given up all season?
Okay, I'm just doing the math on it. 3, 7. Is it 20?
It's 25 all season.
Oh man.
Buddy, I don't know, man. I do not know. Like, I know Illinois is good, and traditionally speaking, Ohio State has never played. There's something about Champaign, Illinois, that has given Ohio State problems traditionally over the years.
The sun shone the day of the USC game. I think that's the one we're looking at a picture of right now.
That picture is an AI picture. That didn't happen.
No, the sun definitely shone in Champaign that USC game day, and they ended up winning. But this is like what they did to USC at the end of the game, they're not doing to Ohio State. Like you're just not mashing your way down the field against Ohio State. That's not happening.
Yeah, 16.5 is a lot of points in Ohio State. No. I mean, it is to a team that I think is functional.
But this functional team also got beat by 53.
I know.
Another good, we think maybe playoff caliber team.
I'm trying to come up with a reason to pick Illinois, and I don't think that you could give me one.
I can't. I know we're supposed to, sell the drama here, but I really can't.
How many points would you need to receive to think about taking Illinois?
28.
28.
Because I think Ohio State is going to remain somewhat conservative at first, which is what we've seen from them in most of their games, where they don't really start pressing the Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate buttons until they're sure that their defense has locked everything down. But given what we've seen from Illinois trying to cover Indiana's receivers, I don't think that's going to matter how conservative they are. Like, I think they're going to just be scoring from the beginning.
Yeah. So here's where we're at with Ohio State. In the Unfiltered Takes column that I do every Monday, I wrote at the beginning in an Ohio State section that Ohio State meddled around with Minnesota in the first quarter before winning 42-3. They were losing 3-0 till they scored really late. I think it was the final play of the first quarter to go up 7-3, and then still won 42-3. Ohio State fans are in my mentions right now, mad at me for saying they meddled. Like, that is how good things are going. Like, there's not much to get upset about. No. I don't know what the nitpick is. I think that Julian Sayin is a very, very good young quarterback, and I think that as time progresses, he's going to turn into a star.
And I think they're giving him the perfect runway here because they have this defense is so good that they don't have to ask him to do anything, and they kind of get him settled into a game, and they're like, okay, let's do a little more. Like as the game moves on, like you get into the second and third quarters, and they're like, okay, let's ask him to do a little more. Let's see what he can do. Let's test this out.
You know what this team is?
What's that?
This team is the boa constrictor team that Georgia was a few years ago.
Correct.
Where they don't need to jump on you and be up 24-0 in the first quarter. But as the game goes on, they get more loose offensively. Their defense is stopping you at a frustrating. I mean, PJ Fleck said after the game that it was the best defense he's seen in the last 13 years. And that's crazy to say considering how much they lost talent-wise from a year ago.
Speaking of which, I threw Arvell Reese on my on 3 Heisman.
Did you come across the clip of like some of the plays he made against Minnesota, and then you're like, "This is it"? Because there was one
as good as Caleb Townsend is. Yeah. What Arvell Reese does in their defense, maybe even more important, which I cannot believe I'm even saying.
There was one
based on how good Caleb Downs is and how important he is.
where Arvel Reese lined up before the play outside the left tackle and somehow like morphed his way into the middle of the line of scrimmage and bolted through and got in for a sack. And like, I'm seeing talent evaluators like NFL scouts and draft analysts saying he's the best linebacker in college football. If you add the best linebacker in college football to what they already have on defense,
the best safety in college football, the best wide receiver in college football, maybe the second best wide receiver in college football, like it's insane. It's insane what they've got.
So like in the spirit of not overreacting to one result, it's hard. I think Illinois is better than what we saw against Indiana. I don't know what happened that night. Maybe one day we'll figure it out. Maybe that's who they are to a certain extent when they play elite level teams. I don't think that's what Illinois is. But even if it is 50% of that, I don't know how they keep it within 16.5 points. I just can't. And maybe we'll be watching the game and we'll find out, oh, that's how. Maybe this is Ohio State's turnover game. Maybe this is Ohio State's, sleepwalking game. I don't know. But you're going on the road, and this is one of their most interesting. I mean, River, put up their schedule if you don't mind. I don't know how long that'll take, but Ohio State's playing Illinois, and then they play Wisconsin, Penn State, Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and Michigan. So you could make the case that this is one of only 3 semi-interesting games left on their regular season schedule. And so maybe they can get up for this because there hasn't really been a reason to. They've been so boring. There's nothing to watch. They're just mashing people, dude. Like in a world
look
where
at the rest of their schedule, you feel like they could mash everybody else. Now maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just coast through a game or two. But I don't see that. Like I kind of think last year's Michigan loss might still be propelling this year's team because like all these guys played on last year's team. It's not like this is a massive transfer portal team. Like they were all there. They understand what happens if you don't show up. So I think they're all going to show up pretty much every time. So I will take Ohio State to cover the 16.5 here. What say you, Ari?
I'm going to take Ohio State.
Yeah.
And it's something I see some of the power ratings have them at 14-point favorites. I'm ignoring those.
I mean, 14, 16.5, it's close enough. Like,
yeah, number. I mean, obviously the power ratings aren't helping me right now. So I'm just going to ignore it and go with what I've seen. And Ohio State looks, we were at the Miami game the other night and Miami looks really, really good. Mm-hmm. And then I start thinking about everything that Ohio State has. And it's just like, I don't know who's in the same hemisphere right now. Still.
Might not be. Maybe we were wrong about the super team being dead. Maybe they still are one. So we will find out, though. This is the type of game where if they just come in and curb stomp Illinois, I don't know what happens the rest of the season, regular season wise. There are teams that can probably play with them.
And it'll be interesting in 2 weeks
if they're on their schedule.
Our viewpoint of the Penn State game changes because
true. Well, I kind of want to see Penn State. Like Penn State plays Northwestern. Northwestern beat UCLA. Like, does Penn State just snap back into form, or is this going to be a struggle?
James Franklin every week posts the team's name and then goes and then repeats it over and over again. Let's go 1-0 this week. I wouldn't have done that this week. I would have just stayed off Twitter.
Yeah.